Seven of Wands. He's gonna work. There's something he's working towards. This woman, she's in her 30s, mid-30s. She might sing. I see her playing the piano. Playing the piano, like, la, la, la. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Time. My name is Hallie. Oh, let me move a little bit. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. I am doing this longer version of videos, 2025 predictions. I am about to be done with them. So if you want to make any recommendations, I'm not doing couples just yet. So if you want to make any recommendations, or I do my couples update every Wednesday, but if you want to make any suggestions, please make them now. I'm taking last calls for any 2025 predictions. I've done a lot of people. I've done many people. It's been really fun. I started in November early on purpose. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll do half year predictions too. So I'm doing Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm going to start with him. Let me actually go through the list. So I'm doing Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elon Musk, Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller, Michael B. Jordan, and Jason Momoa. I'm doing all men. I didn't realize that. I just wrote down the list that I had an idea of. And next week I'm doing a lot of them were suggested. I do tell personal stories. So if I'm not the reader for you, that's totally fine. Please find somebody else. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. I will have timestamps throughout the video, so if you don't want to watch the whole video, that's fine too. And yeah, just please, can we be respectful of one another? I feel like certain celebrities ignite fire in their fans, and I'm not here for any disrespect or any unkindness. You know, you can correct me. I've had people correct me, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm human. If I need to be corrected, I'll be corrected. But please don't be rude about it. Okay, so I am going to be using this deck that I don't use a lot. Tarot of the Curious Creatures. I haven't used it in a long time. I love this deck. I was cleaning out my closet and I found a lot of my old decks. And so yeah. I also do have 2 memberships. Check that out. I will start doing tarot book reviews. So I do book reviews, but I've decided to do tarot card book reviews. I'll explain later. I'll basically cover tarot cards that I recently bought, 1 a month. Okay, so Aaron Taylor Johnson, I'm going to start with him. His sun is in Gemini. I just recently did him on a couples update, so check that out. My couples update live. I think it was 2 weeks ago that I did it. For when you see this, because I'm recording this on the 8th of January and I did it last week. He is the Craven, I think it's called. He is a very attractive man. Very attractive. He's, very hot. Yeah, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So, lots of people have been saying that he was groomed and that stuff. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to keep this monetized. So yeah, by the way, I was watching one of my old videos and I saw that it had a lot of ads. I'm so sorry guys. I'm going to try to have less ads. I just did the automated version that YouTube decides, but it was a lot of ads and I thought to myself, this is a lot of ads. So I'm going to try to lessen the ads the next time I upload videos, or continue to do that, because there was a lot of ads and I thought, oh my gosh, people probably think it's me and I'm not doing it. Even though I like to make money, I also like to make watchable videos. Okay, so with his career, pull up career, love, and well-being. With his career, I get 4 of Swords. So I'm inclined to believe intuitively that 4 of Swords is often when we feel heartbroken, misunderstood, which he is a Sun in Gemini. Sun in Gemini is their lifelong issue, is feeling misunderstood. Like Sun in Aquarius, I'm Sun in Aquarius, I can relate. And he wants to expand creatively, but he feels stifled. And I say this all the time about Hollywood. Hollywood is very generated around money, which is totally fine. It is capitalist. But when it becomes a part, when it stifles your creativity, that is a problem. I have a strong feeling that he wants to do more independent style movies. And because he's so good looking, he gets pigeonholed into this particular type of character that he wants to break free from. But I don't think he's able to right now. So let's see if he'll be able to in the future. You know, he is also British, and I feel like the main difference between British celebrities and American, I've lived in both countries. I've lived in England and I've lived in America. I'm American, even though I have a colloquially British accent. I strongly feel like a lot of British actors, celebrities are way more grounded than American ones are, because they don't buy into this Hollywood machine BS. And because they don't buy into this Hollywood machine BS, they often end up being happier. You know, if you look at the Harry Potter people, they often just give off a vibe of that they're happier. I don't know. It just, you know, I meet a lot of American celebrities. I met a lot of British celebrities. I met a lot of American celebrities. The British celebrities I met have been way happier, particularly actors. Have been way happier than the American ones in general. I'm just generalizing. So with King of Coins, 5 Swords, and Ace of Swords, so he sees it as a pathway to make money, but it's not fulfilling his need. And he's going to cut ties. He's going to, in 2026, I get this very strongly, so not this year, next year, he's going to find new management. A management that's going to find him roles that are, management and agent that's going to find him roles that are more nurturing, dad type, because he is a dad, even though I think he's the same age as that I am. I think he's 1989. He became a dad very young. And I do see him, we'll get into the love part, but I do see him no longer being with Sam. And when he lets go of that, because it's almost like he's had a big secret to keep, once he lets that off his shoulders, he's going to play more dad roles. I even see a possible sitcom, like a series type on Netflix, where he plays the dad, either Netflix or Apple TV, where it's going to be like 7-8 episodes and he plays the dad, and it's like he's like the British dad, he's married to an American woman. He's going to be less serious, because I feel like he plays like these serious roles, but which are very commercialized and, like I said, pigeonholed him. But he's going to be more like sitcom based, more dad based, he's going to play more of the family guy, which he hasn't really played before. So with King of Swords in his love, I get here, I've said that I see them having issues, and I said I see when he wants to leave, she becomes very panicky, anxious. She actually, the energy that I get reminds me of a roommate I used to have. Oh my gosh, she was a nightmare. I'm not saying Sam Taylor's a nightmare, I'm saying my old roommate is a nightmare. That was when I decided I cannot do roommates anymore. And long story, I don't want to get into it. But they cannot deal with life. They're very codependent. She seems very codependent on him and his success. It's almost like, I think he has mother issues. Who doesn't? But his mother issues are tied to him feeling like he always has to be perfect. And he feels like he has to be perfect for her. But it's going to change. Some of you might be like, oh, which don't do, guys. He's chosen to be in this relationship. I get it that he was very young, and it's shameful on her end, I think. And I would say the same thing if it was a man. It's not about being feminist or not. Just when somebody's too young to decide, they don't have their cognitive brain. I think under 25, if you're above 25 and you're dating somebody under 25, you have to understand that that person hasn't fully formed as a human being, you know? And I think if you're over 25, go ahead, date whatever age range you want to date that's above 25. But under 25, just acknowledge that person is very susceptible and malleable. And you might want that, but it's not fair. So let's see. With their relationship. Yeah, so I've seen that every time I do see a woman, a new woman in the picture, very strongly. I have picked her up before. I see a new woman. Or he has like these fantasy. This is the thing about him. This is the energy that I get. And all of you that are Aaron Taylor Johnson fans, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm okay to be wrong. But this is the energy I pick up on. He feels so stifled by Sam that he kind of has fantasies about other women. And like I said, every time he's ready to move on, she throws a fit. I see her throwing things. I see her screaming. I see her causing a lot of, like, why leave me? Like, that kind of energy. And she says, like, I can't live without you. That kind of thing. I've had an ex like that. It is horrible to go through that kind of experience. Horrible, let me tell you. Because you always feel like you're responsible for their happiness. But a new woman is coming in. Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups, and 2 of Cups. That is destined to be with him. And she's younger, she's vibrant. I'm not saying that if you're older you cannot be vibrant, but Sam's energy gives she's controlling and she manipulates him to staying. So this new woman who's going to be completely contradictory, she's younger, she's in her 30s, they're around the same age actually, and she's very lively. He wants to be with her and he's going to let her know that. Let's find out more about this woman. Okay, I get 34. She's 34, or he could have met her when he was 34. He doesn't like immaturity. He likes more mature, so I think that's why he's going to stay around his age range or somebody older. But I see her being around his age. She's 34. Let's see how they've met. Let's see how they met. I don't think they have met. But he's seen her. How has he seen her? How has he seen her? Through social media. So, through social media, he's seen her. She looks happy. She has lots of friends. She went through a lot. She's been through a lot in her life. But he wants to be with her. She's going to come in. And if he's with her or not, regardless, the relationship is done because she's made an impact on him. He's checked out. And I say all the time, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. As a predominantly air sign, I'm a sun in Aquarius. I have Libra in my chart. Lots of Aquarius, lots of Libra. I have no Gemini, but I have Aquarius and Libra. When an air sign has checked out of a relationship, they've checked out. Where I was recently, I don't want to get too much into it, but maybe I shouldn't have even told the story. But in a nutshell, we are checked out. I don't want to say it because I think this person watches my videos and I don't want to tell the story because I don't want to embarrass him. But yeah, we can be interested in you and then all of a sudden something happens and we just lose trust. That's it. And we'd rather be alone. Like, it's completely done, you know. He's seen a side to her that he's just like, she's exhausting. He feels burdened by her. And air signs, we don't like to feel burdened. We like to feel light. We like to feel like we're enjoying. We like to feel free, you know. And he doesn't feel free with her. He feels very burdened. So with his well-being, being 7 of Wands, he's going to work. There's something he's working towards. This woman, she's in her 30s, mid-30s. She might sing. I see her playing the piano. Playing the piano, like, I see water associated with her playing the piano. She's kind of Venus type energy. And he sees her on social media. He might not even approach her, but she has inspired him to move on in some kind of way because he feels trapped. And I'm telling you, as signs, we don't like to feel trapped. I've had exes, as soon as they make me feel trapped, I'm out, I'm gone. Completely gone because we don't like to feel burdened. So that's what I have for you guys about Aaron Taylor Johnson. I only wish him the best. I feel like I don't know. It's just tough. It's just tough. Okay, so let's move on. I'm gonna move on to Elon Musk, who bought what is formerly known as Twitter. He bought it 2 years ago. I've done a few videos about him. I'm gonna use Mother Witch Tarot. I've done a few videos about him. Sorry if you can hear my heater. I live in Miami and it's really cold. It's like the coldest. It's been the coldest 2 weeks. If you live in Miami, you know what I'm talking about. It's been cold. I wasn't really cold until last week, and I was like, okay, I need to put on my heater because I'm living in New York. New York is very cold, which I'm like, I ran away from the cold in New York, so how am I back here? But anyways, let me not be a victim. So that's why you can hear my heater. Okay, so Elon Musk, sun in Cancer, who bought Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, bought X. Fun fact, he went to my sister's school. Well, I went to the junior school version. My sister went to the high school in South Africa, where I was partially raised. My parents are South African. So, just fun fact. People are like, did you go to school with Elon Musk? I'm like, no, he's a lot older than I am. But he went to my school. It was the best school I went to. I loved that school. So, let's see. I'm going to pull up his career, love, and well-being. And then I'll tell you a story about why I'm not crazy about Elon Musk. But I want to get this out the way. Okay, so the devil in reverse. Interesting. I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot, by the way. The devil in reverse with his career. So this plays into one of the reasons I'm not so crazy about Elon Musk. And I feel as though he's very hypocritical. You know, he claims to be very traditional, but he has many different kids, many different women. I don't know. I don't like his vibe. But I don't want to be biased, and I don't want to be judgmental. But the energy that I pick up about him is that he likes to be in control. And that control is tied to his childhood trauma that I don't think he's ever really gotten over. And I'm going to say this. Should I say it? I don't want to offend people. But I never really got along with but the culture in South Africa. And the reason I didn't is because I encountered a lot of this energy. Even though part of my family is South African, I don't want to say anything negative about them. But in a lot of African cultures, there's this energy of, and he has this stubborn mentality, that's what I'm talking about, where everybody else needs to do what they need to do, but he is immune. So I see him needing, for his career, because I'm talking about his career, Twitter's going to fail. X is going to fail dismally. And I can see that with the devil in reverse. And instead of taking accountability, he's going to blame other people. With Knight of Swords, the Moon, and Four of Cups. And I wasn't a fan of Jack Dorsey either. So I just don't like Twitter. I think Twitter was started to be problematic. And that's what it's done. And that's what it's going to continue to be. I do like a lot of what he's introduced, that's really had an impact on social media in general, because we do know that they shadow ban, but I love TikTok, honestly. The way that TikTok has been run has been great. They don't shadow ban, they're authentic, you get real views, but that's just side part talking about social media. But he's really going to fail. X is going to fail. It's had its prominence, but I think something has shifted energetically. Knight of Swords, the Moon, and Four of Cups, that he feels like he's not getting his way, and that's the energy that I get, and that's the reason why I'm not crazy about South African culture. In my opinion, from what I was raised in, is that self-accountability is not a big thing. And he can try to run away from that. You know, he is generationally South African. He could try to run away from it, but it still remains. You know, we try to run away from what our heritage is, but it follows us because it's in our DNA. And he comes across very arrogant, which when I go to South Africa, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying culturally. I avoid, there's some wonderful people in South Africa, I'm not saying that, but why I appreciate America is accountability and ownership. It might not always happen, but ownership. And his lack of ownership is going to come to haunt him. And one of the main ways that it's going to happen is through Twitter, through X, whatever you want to call it. So in April, May, June, we're going to start to see a huge decline in Twitter. And it's going to get to the point, you know, a lot of people have hate for Elon Musk. I don't believe in hating him. I just think he's very hypocritical, and I don't like hypocrites. If you want to be a traditional man, be a traditional man, but it starts with you. If you want to be a liberal man, be a liberal man, but it starts with you, you know? And I feel like he plays both sides. I feel like he's just very wishy-washy. He goes wherever the money is. And I don't like people like that. That's just my opinion. So, with his love being Knight of Wands, it's very interesting. I just did the Amber Heard video last week. And I did say that he claims Amber Heard is the love of his life. I don't believe that to be true. I think that he often says, which is very Sun and Cancer, he'll say what he needs to say to get a rise out of people, you know? And I don't think the love of his life was Amber. I think the love of his life was Tallulah, the mother of his 4 children. And I think Tallulah started to speak up for herself, you know, and that's why I've always had an issue. When I was growing up in South Africa, I felt like things are so ingrained that if you go against status quo, you are considered wrong. And that's why I've lived in the US, because traditional societies have oftentimes, not all the time, but open-mindedness often lacks. And I see that with him, Knight of Wands, is that he is constantly on the search for a relationship where he won't be held accountable. And I think he was very happy with Tallulah until she started to speak her mind. He's very happy with his wives or happy with his girlfriend until they start to say, hey, you need to own up to this. You know, until they demand or expect for him to see their side too. He's very stubborn. I'd love to see the rest of the chart. I remember seeing that his rising was in Aries, right? Ace of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles. So he will always have a special place in his heart for Tallulah, but she's kind of moved on. I wonder what her heritage is. Is she British? Tallulah is a very British name. But she sees through him, so she kind of feels like she was duped and a little sad about it. But she's the one that got away. Even though he was the one that filed for divorce, but I think he did it to have, correct me if I'm wrong about the filing for divorce, but I think he did it to have leverage over her. He likes to have leverage over people, which I'm not crazy about. So with his well-being being Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I see some money troubles, even though he is the richest man in the world. I see him having some money troubles, and he's going to have, so I see him getting married soon. I don't think it's to Grimes. Ten of Cups, King of Wands, and the Lovers. So I don't think it's to Grimes. Is Grimes a Gemini? I see this person being Gemini, and Lovers is the Gemini card. But I don't see it being to Grimes. I see it being to somebody that might be, which is so inappropriate to be dating. So crazy. He just gets away with so much, Elon Musk. And people really revere him. I mean, I think he's done some good things, and I don't want to take away from that. But how are you having a baby with somebody that's on your company? Like, wow. So this woman, it might be her. She's got similar energy to the one that he had a second, like, twins with. I believe he had twins with her. He's going to get married either at the end of this year, I guess September, or beginning of 2026. So that's what I have for you guys about Elon Musk. Please like the video if you liked it. Comment. I would like to hear what you have to say. I don't like to come down hard on South Africa. I just did not, when I grew up there, and I know that there's lovely South African people. I've met them and they're wonderful, but I did not have a great experience growing up in South Africa, and mostly it's because of that, what I explained. Okay, so let's move on to Ben Affleck. I'm going to use the Angel Tarot. I love this tarot deck. Same thing, I haven't used it in a while, but like I was cleaning out like I said before, I was cleaning out my closet and I found it. Okay, so we'll move on to Ben Affleck. Sun and Leo. His career, love, and well-being. Which he's been very quiet lately. You know what's funny? I was looking at this meme on Instagram, and it showed him like smiling, happy again. Oh my gosh. I think he loves to play for the cameras, which is very Leo. Very Leo type. Okay, so with his career being 7 of Earth, I see him getting in some kind of investments. Gambling, I see him poker, playing poker, starting an app, investing in clothing. I think one of his ex-girlfriends has like a clothing line. I don't think it's J-Lo. I think he really has I think J-Lo hurt him so badly, he doesn't want to go back to. Every day was a mission with her, you know? I really wonder what she does, because all these men feel like, except for Diddy, the other men really feel like that about her. So he's really, and production, he's doing a lot of production. He's really sustaining himself financially, and with 2 of Fire, 10 of Wands, and 6 of Earth, 10 of Water, excuse me. So he's going to focus on his happiness. I see him going on retreats, going to places like Ohio. You know, California is so beautiful. That's something I miss about living in LA. California as a state is stunning. By the way, I feel so badly for all of those who are going through the fires right now in California, the Palisades. I send you so much love, and it's really so unfortunate what's happening. So if you something that has to do with your house, if your house has burned down or something like that, I'm so sorry. I really, really, really am. And I hope you have the financial. I mean, a lot of people that are wealthy, so I don't want to say that it could be worse or it could be better, but I'm just offering you my compassion. So, with that being said, California is very beautiful. And I see him going to like wineries, which is interesting that he said he stopped drinking. He might start drinking again, but like in small doses. I think that's dicey water. If you were an alcoholic, I really don't think you should ever drink. Again, it's not as hard as people think it is. But I see him having some wine. I see wine in the mix. And I see a new woman. So as we get into love, Ace of Air, I see him dating again. It says, brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So how fitting about the end of his marriage, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you see it. And I see him really embracing his singlehood, dating. I see somebody named Amy. He might go back to an ex. I think her name was... No. I see an actress. You know that actress, Amy? I forgot her last name. She was like a 90s actress. Her name's Amy something. She was in, I think, American Pie. I still love those stupid movies. Oh my gosh. She's in American Pie and Amy something. But I believe he's gonna date her. She looks like the person I see looks like her. And they're gonna be seen 4 of Earth, 2 of Earth, and 4 Fire. Wow. So he's going to want to marry her. These Leos. Man, Leos can be very passionate people, jumping from one relationship to the next. Very interesting. So I don't see it going well. I see it going like sparks flying. I see her very strongly. I forgot her last name, but she had a lot of promise in the early 2000s, late 90s. And I see them dating. Her not being as open to him. He's feeling fiery about her. But she's going to be very wary. And because she's very wary, he's going to start to recluse. Because he has, I believe, the kind of personality that he needs to be. The person, I think he has fearful avoidant personality. No, excuse me. Fearful avoidant attachment style of loving. So if he feels rejected, he recluses and then disappears. And she's going to be like, what happened? He changed. He changed because you were being secure. And they're not used to that. They're used to like the very passionate type of person. And I think I remember Jennifer Garner saying loving him is like one day it's sunny and the next day it's shade, you know. I'm paraphrasing, but she said it like that. And that's fearful avoidance. If everybody was a fearful avoidant, one day they're so into you, the next day you don't get a call, you don't get a text, you don't get anything. Because you've done something to them and they don't want to tell you, but they want to kind of punish you, you know? So she's going to start to feel like that. I see her very strongly. I forgot what her last name is. If I remember, I'm going to look it up when I'm done these videos. And I'm going to put it, if I can remember to do it, I'll put it in the description, her name. So with Knight of Earth being his well-being, it says loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments, a guardian angel. So it seems like he's going to move into a house. I see him like doing things around the house with his kids. Jennifer Garner coming around. I get the color yellow. So yellow is somewhere in the mix. And he's going to feel very healing. Like it's a very healing process to get his house done. To, yellow is the color of hope. So he's going to feel, and the sun. And the sun is Leo. Son of the, sun is ruled by Leo. Excuse me, Leo is ruled by the sun. So he's going to start to feel hopeful. And when I clarified, I got Release, Magician, and the Hermit. And he's going to, we're not going to see him in the press a lot. Especially as the Diddy and J-Lo stuff comes out. He's going to stay far away from it. So that's what I have for you guys about Ben Affleck. Now, let's move on. I'm going to use Earth, Woman, Tarot. Let's move on to Ezra Miller. It's been a while since I've done an Ezra Miller video. Sun and Gemini. I've been almost eerily accurate about him. Go back and watch my Ezra Miller videos. I have a playlist. Actually, I don't want to get too much into it. In fact, I don't want to talk about it because that person messaged me in private. But I got confirmation that a lot of what I said was true, not just in events that have come out, but from people who have interacted with him. Let's just say that. So I'm going to pull up his career, love, and well-being. I like to keep what people tell me private. Okay, career, love, and well-being. Okay, career, love, well-being. Interesting. Very interesting. So with his career, their career, because I know they go by they, I'll just refer to Ezra as they. 7 of Wands. And with this being in mind, they feel pigeonholed right now by what's happened. You know, there is a very narcissistic side to some actors. And especially unhealed ones who feel like they have to prove something to the world. And I see that very strongly in Ezra. Ezra has this energy of, they don't understand me, which is very Sun and Gemini. Sun and Gemini, Sun and Aquarius, and Sun and Scorpio. All those 3 signs, I'm a Sun and Aquarius, so I can relate. Make sure that you are at peace with people not liking you. And seeing maybe your flaws and be okay with it. Own up to what you've done and stop trying to prove to the world that you're a good person. It doesn't work out, because they are going to try to prove that the past did not happen regarding these women that were allegedly kidnapped and so forth. And it's not going to look good. It's not going to be good at all. So right now there's a lot of quiet in the media, but behind the scenes, Ezra Miller, are trying to portray this image of this is not fair. This is not fair. I see them like at home. This is not fair. This is not fair. Why am I being ostracized? Why am I being... This is not fair. Victimizing themselves. 9 of Wands, 5 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. And not doing the real healing. The real healing that's involved. So, with love being the star, I see them meeting someone or becoming very fond of... It could be an Aquarius. This is the card of Aquarius. Who's very nurturing, who's very sweet. And they're going to be so turned off by them. The woman, this star person, is going to be very turned off by Ezra, because Ezra's going to say something to embarrass themselves. Like, they might get drunk and be like, hey, that type of energy. And she's going to be like, you're a creep. Stay away from me. And then he's going to want to... Then they are, going to want to come back into acting, be famous, because it kind of fuels their need for attention, and it fuels their need to succeed by being rejected by women, which I think happens a lot to famous people. They just don't admit it. That some famous people on the shadow side become famous so that they can prove people wrong. So with the Emperor, 4 of Cups, and the Sun, she's definitely not interested in him. She might be like a yoga teacher. She might even be in a relationship, and they're gonna approach her like, you're the one for me. I saw it in a dream. I saw it. And she's like, get the hell away from me. Leave me alone. Who are you? And they're gonna be like, I'm Ezra Miller. And she's like, who? And it's going to really trigger them to the point that we're going to hear stories, arresting stories again, drunkenly behavior, substance issues. Because, especially with Geminis, I say it all the time, stay away from substances. Stay away from substances. Go for hikes. Look at nature. Do yoga. Do other things. And stay away from people that make you erratic. Because some people do bring out the worst in you. That's just the truth. Stay away from people that do not make you feel good about yourself. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I used to be a yoga teacher, and I had a stalker when I was a yoga teacher. He would come to my class. He was a Sun in Cancer, but I do see Ezra having Sun in Cancers. I've actually had 3 stalkers, and 2 have been Sun in Cancers, which is very interesting. Like serious stalkers, not like stalking in the street, because I've had men stalking in the street, like exes stalking and stuff like that, which is not okay. But I mean like serious stalking, where I've had to take serious measures against them. So one of them, and I'm gonna tell this because I see the similar energy. One of them felt very misunderstood. I felt badly for him, because I felt like, oh my gosh, he's alone in this world. And that's similar to the Ezra energy that I get, where she might feel bad for them because they're a loner. They don't have their life together. But I think when she starts to open up, he's going to be like, I'm in love with you, which is what happened to me. That's how I feel I can relate. He's going to misread it because he lacks social skills to understand that just because somebody's offering you empathy does not mean that they're in love with you. And he's going to misread her empathy and compassion just for what he's been through, or what they've been through. Excuse me, guys. It's so tough to say the they thing, but I'm trying. To offer that without any attachment, because the Hollywood world is very based on attachment. There are very few people, especially in LA, that do things, in my opinion, do things from a genuine place. And when they meet a genuine person, they're going to be like, this is the love of my life. And she does not receive it well. I think she's even going to be pregnant. She's got a life of her own. Excuse me, the Empress. I said the Emperor, but I meant to say the Empress. She's got a life of her own. And she's married. I see her being in her late 30s. She's married, late 30s. She's very, like, earthly, like, you know. And they are so drawn to that and will be obsessed. Geminis love that. Geminis love a grounded person, because a lot of the time they're looking for it. And they're going to spiral after she rejects them, big time. So with the Queen of Wands being their well-being energy, this woman is really going to have an impact on them. I see them being like a yoga teacher. They come into contact with her quite often. I get 3-4 times a week. They've become kind of obsessed. She might even come out and say, this person was obsessed with me. They were obsessed with me. Ezra was obsessed with me, and it was so uncomfortable. The husband too. I think the husband might be like a producer type, but Ezra has fantasies, deep fantasies. 3 of Cups, the Lovers, and Justice, of being with them, even breaking up her relationship and say, hey, you're mine. And it's not going to be good. 4 of Swords. It's not going to be good for Ezra at all. Okay, so let's move on. I did say I saw an arrest happening for Ezra. His life is terrible for this one. Okay, I'm doing Michael B. Jordan. Fellow Sun in Aquarius. Very handsome guy. He was Killmonger in Black Panther. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. He's not really that popular anymore, but he used to be. So let's see. This was requested, by the way. Career, love, and well-being. Career, love, and well-being. He used to be on The Wire too. He was the kid in The Wire. Which I'm like, we're the same age. Or he's a year older than I am, I believe. And I just remembered that in England and South Africa, we got shows later. Because I'm like, I don't remember him being that. We're the same age, but in the show, he was a lot younger than I am. And I just remembered we got the shows later, so that would make sense. Okay, so career, love, and well-being. Career, love, and well-being. Okay, very clear to me. So with his career being the Lovers, he wants to take a more romantic rom-com style. I see like Morris Chestnut type of movies. If you don't know Morris Chestnut, he too can play that game. If you guys know that movie, I love that movie with Vivica Fox, Monique. I love that movie. I watched it the other day again. Not the other day, a few months ago. It feels like the other day. But I see him playing more rom-com, getting more into that type of vibe. He's going to be like the heartthrob, take off his shirt. People are going to be like, oh, women in the cinema are going to be screaming at him. But he wants to, come across as more grounded, less like buff. He wants to take his career in a different turn. He's going to start producing movies too. Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. So he's going to start producing movies too. And because he's going to start producing movies too, he's going to have more control of the roles that he plays. I see him in like a suit with roses, those kinds of movies. I'm excited for him because I feel like, I don't know, I think he just does Hollywood well. He doesn't get too involved in things. Which is surprising for Sun and Aquarius because sometimes we get a bad reputation. But to me, he is the Sun and Aquarius that I always say I enjoy. Humble, hardworking, and just down to earth. He gives me very down to earth energy. I've never met him. Have I met him? No, I've never met him. But that's just the energy that I get. I have to remember if I met him or not. Okay, so with love being Three of Cups, very Aquarius. Oftentimes we fall in love with our friends, and there's a woman in his life that he's very drawn to. They're very friendly. She might be Sun and Sagittarius. I get that energy. Which Sun and Sagittarius goes very well with Sun and Aquarius. I always say Sun and Sagittarius, Sun and Gemini, Sun in Aries. Those are our three best matches. Sun and Leos, not so much, because I feel like sometimes they can be stubborn and it's like two fixed signs going at each other. We need open-minded people to be with, and that's why Sun and Sagittarius, Sun and Gemini are very good for us. Sun and Aries keep us on our toes, and we like that. So she's a friend type. He feels hurt from the past. Oh, Eight of Swords, Death and Rebirth in reverse, and King of Pentacles. I think the Lori Harvey situation really deterred him, and she is a Sun in Capricorn, and I always say Sun in Capricorns can sometimes be our demise, Sun in Aquarius. And because of that, he was focused on money. But now, which is what we do, Sun in Aquarius, that's what we do. When we are upset, when we need to heal, we focus on work. It takes up a whole life. And now that he feels secure enough again, he's even done some emotional work on himself. He's doing great. He's really doing great. I'm very proud of him. I'd be surprised if there were any kind of horrible stories about him, or any kind of relation to nefarious activities, because he seems very clean energy. I get clean energy from him. And he felt like, okay, I have to work on myself. I have to become a better person. I want to thrive, so I'm going to do the real work. And he's done the real work. And I've said this before. 2025 in numerology is 9. It's the number of karma. So our karma, what you've put out, is coming back, especially in the age of Aquarius. And his energy that he's put out, what he's strived for, his hard work, he's very hard working, is coming back. He's going to be directing. He's going to be producing. I see him directing. I see him with the little thing, going around. And it's going to pay off. Big time. Big, big, big time. I say this to all single men in Hollywood. Please be careful who you date. Please, please. I see a possible Jonathan Majors situation happening for him. I mean, men and women. But the thing is, I feel like I've said, in Hollywood, there's this Jezebel spirit that is very wicked and lies a lot. We see it with Amber Heard. We see it with just different types of women. And I'm not saying regular women are like this. It's in Hollywood. Brings out the worst sometimes in people. So I'm not saying anything against women. I'm saying this type of woman, he needs to stay away from. Which he'll be good at, because he's an Aquarius and we often see through people. We see through people a lot. And he sees through, there's a possible Jonathan Majors type situation that could happen. So he just has to make sure it doesn't, by just steering clear of being alone with certain women who don't have, I don't want to say don't have a good reputation, because I don't like to go by what other people say, but by listening to his intuition. So with Page of Swords being his general energy, he's learning. He might even be taking on like a lawyer role, where I see him being a studious. I see him with glasses. Very, very handsome. I keep saying that, but it's true. I believe his rising is a Virgo, from what I remember. But yeah, I see him taking on a role that's like a lawyer, where he has to wear a suit. Queen of Cups. He has 2 or 3 major roles coming out this year. And Queen of Cups, the Empress, and Knight of Swords. And that is going to bring him close to the woman that he is going to marry. I see them getting married. They're going to be friends they're going to date or be friends / date for the next 3-4 years. And then he's going to marry her. Yeah. So I'm excited for him. Great things on the way for him. So let's end off with Jason Momoa. And I'll use my Muse deck. The Muse Tarot. I really have enjoyed these 2025 readings so much, so Thank you everybody who's watched them, supported them. I'll go back to my regular programming in a week or two. Yeah. I am going away for my birthday. I'm going to Universal. So in February, the first week of February, I will not do a video. But then I'll be back to regular programming after that. Okay, Jason Momoa. He's his son in Leo. I did say let me go back and watch his videos because I can't remember being accurate or not. I did say that they were going to break up. I said he's going to start dating an actress, which some of you have told me he has. Leos and Scorpios, Lisa Bonet's and Leo Scorpio. And Leos and Scorpios, I wouldn't say are a good match. It starts off very passionate, and then after a while it really phases out a lot. So with his career being the main, but something I must say that I really appreciate about them is the fact that they have kids and they haven't said a bad word about each other. I really think it's wonderful that they've done that. So with his career being the moon, I see him. A lot of people, they're realizing that the Marvel route, the action movie route. I mean, I've loved DC movies, I've loved Marvel movies, but I think that they've become so overproduced, overdone, that now that people are getting out of them. Everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon for a certain time after Spider-Man became popular. I think that's when everybody was like, I need to make an action movie because they're making so much money. But now they've left. And they want to do things with purpose. They want to make things with purpose. His moon might be in Pisces. This is the card of Pisces, and I just got that. But he wants to be able to come across as memorable, and he wants to come across as authentic. And I do believe he has a good side to him. He just has come across as very shallow in films that I've seen or portrayed, and like he lacks depth. So he wants to become more full of depth. And let's see, I see him playing like a softer character. It might be similar to, how Deadpool, I didn't watch Deadpool, but because of the Justin Baldoni thing, I've seen some clips of it and people have explained it to me. But and I love Marvel, I just never liked Deadpool, I don't know why. But how Deadpool has like different types of characters, I think they might do that with Aquaman. Or he's playing an action movie that's similar, where he takes on different roles. He wants to prove that he has depth. So the Chariot, Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool, because the woman in his life has inspired him. I believe her name to be like Amelia, something like that. Emily, something like that. So with his love being 4 wands in reverse, he sees marriage with her. She doesn't want to get married. And I think she might be French or something. But you know how, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of Europeans look down upon Americans. That's just what I've experienced growing up. I partially grew up in Europe and stuff like that. When I used to go to Europe with an American passport, people would look at me funny. And then I would be like in London and hear Americans. I'm like, okay, this is why people treat me like this. Because Americans can be so loud. But I only talk about culture. I want to talk about culture. And her culture is gives me anti-America. Where her parents don't really want her to marry anybody in Hollywood. Stuff like that. So she's going to resist it. He's going to take it personally. It's going to hurt him a lot. With the High Priestess in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse, and 4 Pentacles, she's going to break up with him and say, I want to be alone. I want to work on myself. Because I think she has seen, I guess she's like 32, around there, 32, 33. She realizes, or they might have been that age when she might have been that age when they met, but she's realized that she has work to do on herself. She's realized that she has work to do on herself, and she wants to do that work. She's like, you know what, I really just want to be alone so that I can work on myself. And it's gonna break his heart, I won't even lie. So Eight of Pentacles in reverse and Two of Pentacles being his well-being. He's really going to be searching for purpose, you know, and I think that's kind of like his midlife crisis he's going to have. He's going to start going on adventures. I see him even doing a possible documentary with National Geographic, becoming a humanitarian, because one of her parents treats him badly and kind of makes him feel less than. I think her parents might be academics and they never wanted her to be an actress, so they look down upon him. And because they look down upon him, he's going to want to prove that he's not like that, you know. And through proving that, he's going to find out a lot about himself, which I find very, very interesting. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I love you all. This has been lots of fun doing these. I will have 2 more weeks of this, and then I said I'm going to Orlando for my birthday. So when I get back from Orlando, we will be starting regular programming. We'll be back to Harry Styles, be back to One Direction, I'll be back to all those faves that you guys love. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.